This life is all they needed. This life is overstated. This life is all they needed. This life is overstated. This life. Take me away. This life. Take me away. This life. Take me away. This life. Take me away.
Take me away. Take me away.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to HorrorCorridor, and we are here with fucking Bloodshot. What's up, Bloodshot?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Saws up, motherfucker. And he's locked and loaded, ready to go, as you can see. Fucking crazy-ass chainsaws are there. How many chainsaws do you even have, man?
Shit. With the landscaping business and these three and... I don't know. Fuck. A lot.
How many cougar furs do you have?
I don't have the cougar anymore. I just got the coyote fur right now. The one that we dropped the cougar thing and started doing the coyote when Alias Grim came out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was wondering about that because I saw Cap was also wearing a fur, so I was wondering like when he got introduced to the fur. But we will talk about Alias Grim shortly.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing great, man. It's great to finally make this happen. We've been talking back and forth. And you know, it seems like I've been listening to nothing but Bloodshot since we first started talking because I wanted to like full on study. So,
nice.
Yeah. I mean, I listened a little bit of that. What's that?
A lot to listen to, man.
Dude, your discography is huge. It's really big. And I mean, and I'm counting everything. I'm counting like I was able to find some of your demos. I was able to find an old Slaughter theory that wasn't released. I was able to because I went on like file trading sites to find the stuff that's not released. So I found a few things. Yeah. I was like, damn. Like
I don't even know everything I got out, man. I honestly don't, man.
I know.
If I was to write it all down, I'd miss a few.
Yeah,
sure.
I don't know. Maybe I should show you the files I found because some of it's weird. It's just like Slaughter Theory, Bloodshot verse, or something like that. I'm like,
Yeah, exactly. The only person I know, like the main person I know, is like all my shit is Derek Wiggins, Spooky.
Oh,
I don't know. For some reason he kept track of all my shit since then. So
that's cool, man. I always think it's great to archive all this shit, man. Like because something about horrorcore and like all this kind of like the dark rap shit is. People always are interested in the history and they always want to go back to that. So it was really cool going back, even from Bloody Professor all the way like to now, to see that change, dude.
Oh man, huge progression. Oh my God, man. And just even working on the last album until now, it's like, I mean, since I started the HCE thing, like my ideas have just like erupted, bro. So it's like starting from brand new right now, and holy shit, man. Whew. Man, you can never stop getting better at what you do, bro. That's the bottom line of it.
Yeah. And you can hear it in your music, your vocal styles. How many different vocal styles do you even have, man? Like
yeah, well, I think when I originated, I told myself I would focus on 3.
Yeah.
But nah, that didn't happen. It's just however the beat is, however the track is, however I feel when I'm recording, it just comes out like that. Yeah. I don't write it to sound like that. In my head, when I'm writing a track, it all sounds the same, like monotone to me in my head. But once I start recording it and hearing the beat in the headphones and the way my voice is projecting into the mic, that's when I start changing it up and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, okay. So experimental stuff, that's what I've always been into. So that's what I love to do the most. I mean,
one thing that's cool about your music, like you've had Smalls One in the background a few times and she fits really good with your vocals. But the cool thing about your voice is that you do a lot of the backing vocals too. And sometimes you'll be doing 2 different Bloodshot voices. Like you'll be doing the low kind of like, I was calling it like the Lemmy Biohazard style, like, yeah, kind of low with a crooning sort of voice.
Yeah.
And then, you do the more, a little bit higher pitched wicked shit, like traditional wicked shit, style, a lot more on your older stuff than your newer stuff. But, yeah. And that it's just really, really impressive to me that, like you don't even need to collaborate with someone, but you still have this full sound. It's really cool.
You know what's crazy is when I first came into horrorcore, people thought I was a group, and I had to keep, elaborating that I wasn't a group.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's kind of like Six Side when I don't know if you remember Third Seal or Six Side or Bobby Knight and all them.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
Yeah, but they were so diverse. I almost for 1 minute thought that it was just the same person doing all the voices until I finally found out that they were all individual. And
I thought some of them were the same. I thought some of them were the same people just doing different voices. Like I thought Ice Pick Willie and Bobby Knight were just like a guy doing weird different voices and stuff. And then,
exactly.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I won't lie, that is what influenced me to start switching my voice up a lot more. Was like, oh shit. Because to me, I thought it was the same person for the longest time. I will not lie. I thought it was Bobby Knight the whole time doing different voices. So I was like, fuck. That'd be kind of cool to start a persona and start doing different voices for myself and hyping myself up and stuff like that. So that's how that came about, realistically.
And it cuts back on your need for like people to like, work with, you don't need to have guest vocalists and stuff in because you can do your own backing tracks and stuff. That's fucking cool.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, except for Smalls when I need a female, but I've never done something to where I specifically needed to reach out to somebody to make a specific sound pop and a hook or anything like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hear what you're saying 100%. Yeah, I pretty much just feel in my own shit, man. For real.
That's cool, man. So let's start from the beginning real quick. What was the underground horrorcore scene like growing up? I know you moved around a lot, so where did you start off when you started the horrorcore? Was it the Northwest or somewhere before that?
Yeah, it was the Northwest. I lived in the Northwest till I was 27. I mean, it all started with Brother Lynch, 3-6 Mafia. To me, that was pretty much the darkest shit I've ever heard. I mean, Brother Lynch, to me, like leaving horse heads in your bed and stuff like that, was really influential on a lot of my lyrics. Because before I started listening to that type of stuff, I was more into like No Limit Records, Cash Money, Boot Camp Click, Wu-Tang Clan, which, in my opinion, out of all those that I just listed, Wu-Tang Clan was like the darkest out of the ones that I just listed. Yep, exactly. But once I started to get into like Southern rap, that's when I went to the record store and just tried out 3-6 Mafia and was fucking blown away, bro. Like I'd always been listening to Brother Lynch Hung, but I would never freestyle like that or try to create music like that. It was when I started listening to 3-6 Mafia that I started realizing like, oh shit. When they try to rap, they rap grimy and like have the weird voices and stuff like that. And that was exactly how I was freestyling to like Wu-Tang Clan and stuff like that. The closest person on Wu-Tang Clan that I could probably think of is like when RZA did Gravediggers or Kill a Priest type stuff.
Yeah, RZA was a little bit looser back then. Some people said he sounded a bit dusted on 6 Feet Deep, but that he was using the guttural voice. He was going off time. So I could see that.
And that's just like one thing, because I've tried to rap in my normal voice, and trust me, like it might sound good to people that don't know what it sounds like for me to rap in my normal voice, but to me it sounds like shit. I can't get into the track. I tried it hundreds and hundreds of times. I have to use what you're saying, like the guttural. I have to speak from here, which gives me that graspiness. But as you can see, talking to you right now, I have a normal voice. But in order for me to get the energy, which is Horror-crunk, I gotta get loud, and my voice changes. So
I'm the same way. I used to sing in a hardcore band called Train Yard, and we were just Biohazard ripoff, and I just ripped off Biohazard, just like kind of shit. So I get it. It was an easy way to project your energy, like on stage, is to also project your voice. It takes a lot of energy, though.
Exactly. Well,
and I seen you on stage. You're like bouncing around and shit.
Yep, exactly.
Furs flapping in the wind.
And it takes a lot of time to get it down, man, to not get winded and to, spit Horror-crunk and get as fucking excited as we do on stage. I mean, look at Con-Crete. He's lost his voice many a times when we go out on these short tours and stuff. Even doing, spot shows, Con-Crete will lose his voice because that's just how crunk we get when we're on stage.
Yeah.
Projecting it. I mean, people ask me all the time, how can you explain what type of rap you do? It's like not metal, but a metal type voice, I guess.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
but
It's
hard to
like old school punk hardcore style metal though. Like I was wondering, like, were you ever into punk or metal or hardcore or anything like that?
Only punk I got into was Operation Ivy, then
Mhm.
of course Rancid,
Yeah,
stuff like that.
it's good
I
shit.
mean, Dead Kennedys and stuff like that, but I never really. I like to sing a lot to all the shit that I was growing up listening to. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I always got more into the darker style artists like Marilyn Manson, Rob Zombie, shit like that. So.
I think that's probably the reason why I never discovered Bloodshot while you were in the Northwest is because I was in the punk scene. Like, and I didn't even know that there was like, I listened to Brother Lynch and shit like that, but I didn't even know that there was like such thing as like a wicked shit scene in the Northwest. I totally would have been going, man, because I bet there were mosh pits and shit. Like that sounds.
Oh man.
To know
Dude,
that was happening like 40 minutes from my house and that I didn't even get to check it out. Like, yeah, I seen Con-Crete before, but never Bloodshot.
Yeah, that's actually a crazy thing that you brought that up because it was so hard in Bremerton, Washington to do these rap shows. So me and Con-Crete, we started to do rap shows, but there weren't a lot of people putting them on. So we actually only performed at like punk and metal shows, and we were the only rap group. And I think that's what kind of ignited it in Bremerton for us was it was something different. Some people would be laughing, but some people would be getting into it. And because when you have a metal punk show, I mean, you throw a rapper up there. I mean, we weren't expecting to get love, but when you come out there looking like a horror motherfucker, they're like, okay, these ain't no gangsters or fucking the shit that we don't like. Okay, let's give them a listen. And man, 99% of the time, everybody was getting into our shit, and they were expecting us to be at the next punk and metal show. So it was dope, man. It was really fucking dope.
That's fucking
Really
awesome. Yep, I'll always regret missing that in the Pacific Northwest, but whatever, there's not a lot of good shit out here anymore. A lot of the underground, I mean, we still got Con-Crete, like, Anastomize stopped, and like a lot of just a lot of the local stuff is just done. So I don't even see shows anymore. And, there was COVID. There's probably another thing, but
yeah. I mean, I see it. I see like that trap metal rap stuff, like Scythe Gang and Unforgiven are doing a show there, but I don't really see much going on up there either. I mean,
Midwest groups don't tour up here very often either. There's that like, it seems like there's that like tour trifecta of like New Mexico, you know what I'm talking about, like all those states next to each other, but a lot of the bands don't come up to the Pacific Northwest like they usually do around there, and so I don't really see that much here. But we got Con-Crete and Scum are playing together soon. In Everett.
I was surprised that show even made it up that way. So I'm excited. I didn't even know Con-Crete was on it until he posted about it. So that's dope.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing about Con-Crete. These shows that go on up there, he just like jumps on them, and I don't even fucking know. I would help him promote, but he's very independent, and he learned from me on how to do his thing. So he doesn't really ask for too much help anymore. Con-Crete just does his own thing. I mean, and that's what's great about getting them on HCE now is because everybody on the label does their own thing. So it's.
So like, who's the current roster right now?
The current roster is me, Con-Crete, Shane Poppenwolf, Ill Nickel, Berserk, and Deranged.
Okay.
We do have a couple artists that we are adding, but we're not going to announce them until Slaughterfest. So
that's a really decent lineup. I actually haven't heard the last two guys yet, but.
Berserk and Deranged, yeah. They're really big in New Mexico. I ran into them when I moved there to move in with Smalls. I ended up meeting both of them, and Deranged was a Slaughtercore Entertainment prospect, but the time that he was about to jump on the label, everything just started shutting down. So as soon as I started my own thing, he was definitely number one prospect in my mind. Guy's talented. I can't wait for everybody to, start seeing him doing solo tracks. A lot of people just hear him featured on Il Nichols shit, and really excited to see what he does on his own tracks, his own ideas and stuff like that.
Cool. That'd be cool if you were to like do a cipher with everybody on it, kind of just to ring in their label again or something, just so everyone can get a taste of it. That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
I mean, that's kind of what the Sawyer family was, right?
Yeah, Slaughter Camp. Yeah, so basically with HCE now, I mean, it's pretty much Slaughtercore Entertainment, just a different name. Mm-hmm. I mean, different letter before the CE. Mm-hmm. But we are actually going to be doing a cipher the day after Slaughterfest. Everybody on the label, we're going to be working on a track prior to Slaughterfest, and everybody on the label, we're going to do like a music video for it. So it is going to be like a cipher thing. That way we get the two artists that nobody knows about yet. I mean, these are artists that you probably know about, mm-hmm. I always like to find brand new artists and help them out because it's really hard in this shit. And when you hear these dope ass artists and you see they're so talented but struggling, you got to kind of get their foot in the door. And that's what I'm so grateful about, having my roots putting back into the game so deep back, because trying to step into the game right now, I won't even lie, you probably got to spend lots of money on Spotify and all that bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get a fan base going, a foundation. I mean, it blows my mind.
You got to spend more time on the social media bullshit than you do on the actual music, it seems like, because and then you're just going to be annoying people at any rate anyway. Yeah. So, and that's kind of what you have to do. But no one likes an annoying person, but at the same time, that's the only way you can get into people's brains. So
that is the only freaking way. So I'm very grateful to have came out doing music in the era that I did, and plant my seed back then. I can't thank it enough. So I'm a step ahead right now, with the label and everything. So
that's awesome.
I'm glad to share my fruit with everybody on the roster.
And I think we need a new label to get excited about too in the underground. There's just, I mean, it's always LSP, MNE, and Psy, and people I think need to look a little bit further than that, especially when it comes to actual horrorcore. When it comes to actual horror themed music, it's good. I mean, LSP is a good place, but you just gotta go underground, and it's really good that you're putting on all these artists and the fest too. So
100%. Like like you're saying, you got M&E, Psy, LSP. I mean, she's coming up. Red Shell's label.
Yeah, I mean, there's Cutthroat, but they have a small roster right now.
And they've been established for a while. I mean, he does it at the pace that he's been doing it forever. I mean, it seems like he's comfortable wherever he is.
Oh yeah, he's got some crazy shit coming up. Did you see that teaser he did?
Oh no, man! I need to keep up. I've been so busy, man.
I know it's a Bloodshot show, but he's doing something live at 10:00 on Saturday the 2nd. So
nice.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, I would love to fuck with the guy again, because I've been fucking with this guy Marshland Monster lately, and he actually showed me a track that he produced for Comatose, and it's on some soundtrack. It's not like you're.
Marshland Monster is my favorite producer right now.
Oh God, bro! Then
he's my favorite producer, and guess what? He's one of my favorite rappers too.
Oh God, dude, motherfucker is so talented. I mean, I heard about him a little over a month ago. I heard about him. Been so busy, but I finally checked the guy out, and he's so talented all around. Between his podcast, his music, his beats, he can produce anything you want to sound like. He'll make it.
And I feel like he could be an actor, a voice actor, a comedian. He's got this personality. He just needs to keep it up. He's going to go places, I think, for sure.
Oh, he's going to go places, bro. And I'm so glad to meet that guy, man. So
yeah, I'd love to see you guys work together. He's actually the next Horror Corridor guest. So
I'm biting my tongue so hard right now, but just trust me, you're gonna see a lot of us at Marshall and Monster.
Read between the lines. Read between the lines, guys.
Trust me, I know a lot about the guy right now. I know that he's gonna be doing an interview with you soon, so I mean, I pretty much know what.
Word.
Bite my tongue. All right.
Word.
So here we go.
Word. Oh yeah. So I just wanted to go back real quick to your career, your discography. What record labels have you been part of outside of the ones that you've already mentioned?
Shit. Okay, I'm gonna use my fingers a lot on this one. Started out with Doomsday Productions.
Oh.
That was just me, Con-Crete. Well, Con-Crete was Winslow and Junior E. But we had to shut that down because the actual Doomsday hit us up.
Oh, okay. I was mixing it up. I was like, wait, you were on a label with Doomsday?
No. No, that was when we first started dipping into horrorcore, and I was influenced by Brother Lynch and Doomsday. I won't lie. So that was the name I came up with.
Mm-hmm.
But we eventually changed it to Slaughterhouse Records, which was SHW. It's like the only tattoo I have on my body. You can't even see it because I was 18 at that time. Slaughterhouse Records. After Slaughterhouse Records, I joined Ryda's Records.
What's Ryda's Records?
It was Class, McNasty, Menacide, Tones.
Oh, that sounds familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, there were a lot of heavy hitters on the label.
Yeah.
But that was when I released the Black Rose and Camp Horror.
So Black Rose, there's two different versions, right?
Yeah, so there was one released on Ryda's Records, and then the label that I joined after Ryda's was Serial Killing Records,
mm-hmm.
who instantly remade all the beats for the original Black Rose, and I re-recorded it, so it came out as a Black Rose revised.
So what do you think about the original Black Rose? Do you like it?
I hate all my shit.
Oh, really?
I mean, I'll listen to it, but I'm not the type of person that'll record my stuff and listen to it 20 times and shit like that.
Right.
I'll record and I don't want to get tired of my shit. I want it to sound brand new when I go into the mixing and mastering stage.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll listen to it like a few times and then forget about it and then go into it fresh. I mean, and then I start kind of liking it when I'm mixing and mastering it. I'll drop the album, I'll listen to it a bundle of times, but then like it's because I keep evolving. I keep getting better.
Yeah.
You know, so
I think if
all my shit, people are like, Slaughter King, that's like your dopest track. And I'm like, I hate that track, you know?
Yeah.
And it's making it harder for me because I got to perform all these. When I go and perform live, I'm like, don't get me wrong. I don't hate them. I don't think they're as good as in my head, how I hear myself when I'm writing the shit. It's sounding.
It sounds like you have so much momentum going that you don't want to like go backwards and like focus back on that because your mind is already going on to the next thing and the next evolution. And like, talk about evolution, you've evolved a lot. So you don't want to go back. You don't want to devolve. And it make that make sense.
Oh, it makes a lot of sense. And if I was to release the Lost Portal, the album I'm working on right now, you would see it. Like, you'd be like, each track gets better and better and better, which would be kind of cool. But I want an album where every track sounds like the last one, you know, like not just like the last one, but that talent, you know, that quality, that plateau type thing.
Yeah.
But
consistency.
Yeah, consistency.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to get to that plateau where I can, start using all these voices, changing it up bar to bar. But I mean, I'll get there, man. I'll get there. I think I finally found the producer that's going to make me get there. You'll learn a lot about this guy later, but it totally made me just kick the Lost Portal out the window. I'm not going to release it. If I do, it's going to be scattered, but I finally found a producer that's really going to help me use my versatile styles, and I really think this one's the one. I mean, really do.
When do you think the release on it is?
I gotta have that shit done by Slaughterfest. So, I mean, the digitals are gonna be out by June. We're talking like 7 tracks, but they're gonna be 7 Bloodshot tracks like you've never heard before. Like,
well, I mean, your last albums were like 10 or less tracks, but they packed enough power that
Yeah,
it's fine. So
exactly.
and so if you go at that rate, and I was kind of gonna ask, like, the last 3 albums, Buried, Wendigo, and Reap What You Sow, had kind of a different artwork style and sound. I was wondering, like, were you trying to differentiate those from the rest of your catalog, or is it just kind of your evolution? Just
my goal when I was starting to write those, I was with only Planet Nothing Productions. So my goal for those albums was to touch more overseas, not so much even USA with those albums, was Europe and Asia, and I wanted to really have like that Germany type album cover feel to it.
mm-hmm.
So I went with a guy, Jan Hines. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I know him as Ketza Graphics, but he's the one that creates like those. I call them like European album covers, like Matt Meserve and stuff like that. They have their own unique style to their covers and their own grittiness and texture and stuff like that. So
yeah, it reminds me a little bit of like not black metal, but like just dark metal bands from.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of the route I wanted to go. That's exactly the route I wanted to go, is push towards Europe and make it look like.
Even Reap What You Sow kind of reminded me of like an Iron Maiden cover or something.
Yeah, exactly. That one was to be like a mixture of like metal and one of my biggest influences, of course, 3-6 Mafia, Hypnotized Minds. So that was like the last one that I released before I finally cleaned the slate and started on these new ideas that I'm doing now. So,
and I gotta say, Wendigo is like the best album that came out that year.
Oh man, everybody's saying it, and like I'm saying, see, everybody's saying Wendigo, but in my head, like I was saying, the way I record and the way in my head, I think I keep evolving.
You're evolving, yeah.
Reap What You Sow is the best one, so I'm trying to like dig into the Wendigo so hard and find what it was that everybody loved about that one. So all the feedback's great. I need to know.
Yeah, I mean, it had this really almost, I don't want to say folky sound. Yeah, folky, like you're telling this really the story, and you had this different sound. It was hard to explain, but it was almost like rock, not hard rock, but like not country rock like Boondocks or something, but it was just this folky rock.
Yeah, a lot of my classic rock influence probably came out on that one.
But still with like really deep bass and like that high end cymbal kind of crunk style that you have. It's really cool.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So what was Planet Nothing and how did that come about?
Planet Nothing is LeBay's label.
Oh, okay.
So me and LeBay have been close for a long time, since HorrorCorridor.com. He was on Gruesome's label for a minute, and then I think Planet Nothing actually started by him making beats. But I reached out to him a while ago. I mean, he wasn't really doing much, and neither was I. So I figured, let's revamp it and start things. So it's more like a headquarters. It's not like the label that you're going to hear a lot about, but it's branching out. That's what HE is it's a branch of Planet Nothing. It's our empire. So there's the headquarters, Planet Nothing. Not too much going on, but we don't want to focus on just rap. So there's going to be a lot of different genres coming out of Planet Nothing, and a lot of extraterrestrial type bullshit. That's really what it's going to be about when it all boils down to it, is a lot of experimental artists and stuff like that. But
nice.
We got to get it established first. So HC is me. I'm Horror-crunk, so I'm going to start the first branch of the tree and go from there. And
yeah,
I'm hoping Con-Crete one day starts finding weird people like him and creates his own kind of dynasty, because his style is unique. And if he can find people like him, he's going to be doing things, man. The guy's unique, man.
It's tough in the Northwest. It's kind of isolated out here, but there's always the internet, or he could move. But it seems like he likes it here. He's been here for a while, so.
Yeah, I don't know if he likes it.
I don't like it. I want to move where you are. It sounds a lot drier.
Yeah. Oh, the Southwest is where it's at, bro. I mean,
Yeah.
I miss it, the green and stuff, but it's more like somewhere where I'd rather go vacation, you know.
You got legal
And
weed? Is there legal weed there yet?
yeah.
Oh, cool. So
Yep.
you're all set then.
Yeah, I'm all set. I can walk up in the store and buy whatever I want. So
That's cool.
no more having to wait in the parking lots for your homie to come dump off a 1 gram 40 sack or anything like that. Shit.
So what was your time with Fangoria like? Were you on their label?
I was, but I never really talked to Fangoria personally. I went through Cardiac and April. So Cardiac and April was in charge of Fangoria music, the whole music side of it, and Corey hit me up. I think it was, yeah. No, I hit Corey up asking what he'd been up to, and he was actually started spitting all this Fangoria stuff at me. And shit, I love Fangoria. So to hear that they started like a music thing, venture and all that, I really wanted to tap into it. So, I mean, it was very short-lived. I didn't release a solo album on there. Me and Corey started a group project, but I mean, it wasn't fast enough for me. It wasn't at my pace. It was kind of like, oh, okay, when your time comes type thing. And at that point in my career, I wanted to keep moving and moving and moving and moving. So
I think that might have actually been how I first heard of you.
Fangoria thing
was you were on the website or something? Because I remember I heard about Cardiac too. I know I heard about Cardiac on that website. So I feel like I don't know if I knew about you before that, but that's like
a lot of my fan base right now, like a lot of the newcomers, they heard of me through either Unearthed or Fangoria, which is great because that's something I wanted to do the whole time was tap into the horror movie scene. That's what influenced me to do what I do. So when Stephen Byro hit me up for Unearthed, holy shit. He was just talking to me about distribution at first, and I was already sold. And then for him to tell me that he was, in charge of freaking underground, really grimy, gory horror movie.
Worst of the worst.
Yeah, I was like, all right, bro, sign me up. And I mean, and then once SEA fell out, Unearthed went with it. And that's when I think I was kind of on Lingo and connected with Cardiac, and Fangoria came about. And to me, Fangoria was huge. I mean, even though it kind of died down, it was still like huge to me. So I did anything I could to get on the label. I mean,
yeah,
just wish I would have released something on the label.
I would have done the same thing just to get that logo on my shit. Would have been worth it, no matter how much time it took. But yeah, exactly. I don't think you don't have the time for that. Like, you're not going to sit around a year for a release. Like, if you look at your discography, you don't have time to sit around for that shit.
Yeah, no, I think that was the longest time I was in between releasing something, because right after that, that's when I released what was it, Forever Horror-crunk.
That's a good one.
Yeah, so Forever Horror-crunk was released, and then it took me another 2 years, I think, and then Wendigo came out. So, but
Forever Horror-crunk had Bloody Ruckus on it. That was cool that you were able to get him before, like, in between his bullshit, which Free Bloody Ruckus.
Oh god, and the dude's so talented. Oh shit! Like, I talked to him. He's locked up, but I talked to him. His good friend Chuckles talks to him a lot and relays messages to me and Smalls one from him. And the unreleased shit that Bloody Ruckus has is just, it's fucking phenomenal, because when he recorded all of it was before all this new wave type stuff came out. So he hit it right before all that, but just, you gotta fucking hear it. It's almost like he created this new wave type shit, but no one really knows it because he didn't release it. I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's really fucking hard to explain, but dude fucking killed it on this new shit.
Yeah.
And I would have to say he's like, as far as talent in like this genre that we're doing right now, he's like number one in my opinion.
I agree.
He's like number one.
Dude can sing. He can rap faster than anyone. He writes really disgusting lyrics, but when he actually goes for like substance, like, he can write a verse about a thing. Like he can
Oh,
write.
yeah.
Like if you listen to, I think it's that Bloody Valentine, something Valentine. It was like kind of a Valentine's themed album.
Yeah,
he
I know
put
which
out.
one you're talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like he's got some tracks that are just like about shit. And
Oh God! And
he's
now
really
that
good
he's
at it.
been, now that he's been in there writing this new shit, God, the shit that I heard before he got locked up, I can't believe what he's gonna do when he gets out after all that time writing everything. And
Yeah, I've been hearing great things about Funeral Macabre, and then I also actually did a 15-minute phone call from prison a couple days ago and
nice.
talked a little bit about it. So I don't know if that's still up on his Instagram, but yeah, that was cool. If anyone can go check that out.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
So cool. Where was I on my notes?
Yeah,
we got I always get sidetracked whenever cult shit stuff comes up. Like cult shit stuff always runs me off derailed whenever a dark half or anything comes up. It's like, damn.
Yeah, it's unique, man. It's hypnotizing, bro. That's exactly the point. I mean, that the bullshit. I mean, they got a following going right there. I mean,
yep. I guess I drank the Kool-Aid without even knowing. Back to Fangoria type stuff though. What are your favorite gory horror movies?
I know, like underground stuff. You're not gonna hear a title. Mine's like Dead Alive. I would probably say that's like the goriest one that I've seen.
It's one of the goriest movies ever made.
To me, in my opinion, shit like Passion of the Christ. It's not a horror movie, but to me, it is a horror movie because everybody knows I don't really like Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So to watch him get the fucking shit beat out of him and watch him go through all that shit.
You're just eating popcorn, like hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Those effects were great too. The effects.
Dude, the effects were great. It had my butterflies going in my stomach for a minute. I will not lie, bro.
I love
when it was tearing the flesh out of his back. Oh,
when they use that spear and empty his guts out.
Oh yeah, see, it's a shit like that, man. It's a shit that. Yeah. So, Dead Alive, shit like that, and Army of Darkness, Evil Dead. I mean, not too much gore. I mean, I can't lie and say that a bunch of movies I never seen, but yeah, I mean, Dead Alive. I mean, that part where he's just chopping people up in the kitchen, piling them up.
Dude, the part where the grandma eats her ear, like, still makes me gag whenever I see that part.
God.
And like, I'm a huge fan of like Serbian film and Human Centipede and all that shit. But like, if I see that ear scene, I will.
Yeah, it's fucking gross, bro. It's fucking nasty, bro.
There's a few things in that movie that are pretty nasty.
Yeah, no, that movie it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. What's another fucking one? I'm trying to think of what it is. It's
well, Peter Jackson.
I want to say it was released by Fangoria. It was like iZombie.
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
Have you seen that one?
Yeah, where the guy's kind of doing like a diary or sort of like.
Yeah, and how he's like deteriorating and shit like that. That's the type of gore I remember. That one
goes way back.
Oh yeah,
that's like back when I was trying to rent everything that Hollywood Video had.
Yep. Dude, that's when I was buying everything that remember when the VHSs were coming off the shelf and those big ass stacks and you buy like 10 for 10.
Oh yeah.
20 for 20. Oh God.
I actually bought the movie shelves from a mom and pa video store because I didn't have enough room on normal shelves. So I had to buy like tall ass video shelves. I sold all those movies, but you wouldn't believe how much VHS, like how much that like shit costs. Or how do you say it? I sold it for a lot of money compared to how I bought it. I was buying that shit for like 25 cents each, and then I was selling it for like some of them like $100 a pop. So
yeah, exactly. Like when half.com came out, I was buying VHS, like you were saying, for cheap. Mm-hmm. I started the eBay thing, and every VHS in my closet started going with everything. I started selling on eBay, so fuck it. I mean, I still got some though. But,
yeah. You collected horror movies like life lessons, according to one of your songs.
I collect them. I'm a fucking OCD, motherfucker. If you tell me to collect something, I'll collect it. Just like all these fucking masks. I don't even wear these fucking things, man. I'm just fucking obsessed with them.
And masks are so cool, man. Like, I really want to get like every horrorcore like big mass like Comatose, Mars, of course you, just like all the big ones, and just get them like lined around the edge of my office or whatever. That'd be sick.
Fucking sick. Yeah, I'm still not sure like which one I want to point out on all of them. I probably won't. So you have to get like 20 big Bloodshot masks because of all these different. But they're all gonna have a purpose here in the future with HCE and everything. Like
that's cool.
They're all gonna get put to use.
Especially like you got like video production in the works, like for music videos or short films or anything like that.
Shane bought a camera and he recorded a music video the other day, so we're kind of getting our feet wet.
I saw some clips.
I said,
oh, cool.
Yeah, we're all like HCE. We're all artists that, you know, never really ran a label by ourselves. I mean, like with Slaughtercore, I had Cap and I had Cardiac that kind of did everything that I'm doing for HCE right now. So we got to start from scratch, getting all that video production. Fuck, we got to start from fucking scratch, bro. And that's what's so fun about it to me right now, is because it's like a fresh new beginning.
Mm-hmm.
All that we got to start it. We got to learn how to make graphics, so we don't we're spending money on graphics. We finally found our producer, so we don't got to spend the money on beats and stuff like that. But as far as video production and visuals, I mean, that's what people first see. So we got to make sure we're on the ball with that right away.
Well, if you need anybody in the Northwest to do filming or editing or whatever, just hit me up, and I'd totally be down to collaborate for cheap or free. So.
Oh, definitely link you up at Con-Crete. Like I said, we're all spread out, so we're gonna need help from people in different areas in order to get it going, for sure. So. For sure.
So what are your top 3 crunk rappers?
Lil Jon. Fucking love that guy.
Hell
He's
yeah.
fucking crazy. Lord Infamous, and Coop Sanika.
I can go with those. I can go with those. Those are amazing.
No, yeah. I mean, Lord Infamous and Coop Sanika. I cannot explain how unique those individuals are. And Lil Jon's just crunk.
Yeah.
He don't even got to rap. I mean, fuck. I wish I didn't have to rap. Mm-hmm. I try to make those tracks all the time where you just hey and what and have other people rap, and it doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
That guy's talented, bro.
Have you ever heard that song Ice Cube and Lil Jon? I think it's called Killers. That's my favorite Lil Jon song.
I would have to hear it.
It's weird. No one really knows about that one, but I love that. I love that song.
Yeah, like Lil Jon track titles, I couldn't tell you. Yeah. I mean, but wait, if it comes on, bro, his energy. It's that energy, man. It's the fucking energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I agree with you about Koopsta. Like, that dude's from space. Or was from space. Like, some of the stuff that he's doing on the mic just makes no sense, but it's so awesome. Yeah. Lord Infamous too, kind of.
Yeah, you don't even know half of his lyrics, but it's just like he's making a melody with his voice, and it's fucking crazy. Like,
and he'll just go in the background. You're like, okay.
Fucking his ad libs, man. His ad libs are so sick.
I love it.
Yep, exactly. Like Mr. Merchant and all that, like all this stuff, even after 3-6. Oh, he's just dope, man.
Oh yeah. So what was the process of Alias Grim?
Oof. Well, Cap came on to Slaughtercore and brought Cannibalistic with him. And I think we were talking about doing like back in the day when like all of us anti-Jesus motherfuckers were doing shit like Satanic and Stitchmouth and KGP, we would all form these groups like Red Dawn and stuff like that. I was actually supposed to be on a new Red Dawn, the third member.
Oh, cool.
So I think Alias Grim was originally supposed to be Cannibalistic, me, and KGP. If I remember right, that was the original idea. But
crazy.
He just wanted it to be me and him to start out with. And he told me he wanted a gimmick, he wanted the image, and I told him let's run with my image, you know, the furs and the fucking masks and chainsaws and shit like that. And him being a fucking huge fan of mine, he was all about it. Like, wait a minute, I can fucking be you? Like, not be you, but you're giving me permission to finally do something that I've always wanted to do. And that's why it's almost like I influenced him into this character. And fuck, dude, the shit he was coming out with on that album was it's the best cap work, man. And to be able to mix it and master it, and he'll hear how excited he was about this project, man. It like really, really influenced me for Slaughtercore big time.
That's like one of your most popular releases too. I remember, was that 2017 or something?
Fuck. Oh man,
I don't remember. I have it somewhere, but people were going crazy about it. Like,
yeah,
like that Grim video was everywhere on social media.
Oh god, yeah, that shit was cool because we just moved to Idaho, so we didn't have, too much to do. So when he came up and we mixed and mastered that Alias Grim album and recorded a couple videos. Yeah. I mean, we're talking about a guy that never goes anywhere. Like, he does not trust people. Like, he hates fucking people. He does not like people. He does not like anybody. So to get him to come to my place and actually make this dream come true was like...
I was wondering about that. Where is he now?
He's still in Michigan.
Yeah. Is he just taking a break from music? Did he retire? I didn't really follow him. So when he stopped,
he's just doing the KGP thing. I mean, I hope he comes back. Sometimes he'll go into lingo and then he'll just surprise everybody and come back. But I mean, we'll talk every now and then and talk about Alias Grim coming back, but we're usually both like super drunk and end up fighting or doing what brothers do. I mean, honestly, we're brothers. So, that shit happens. Eventually, I mean, I'm optimistic. So I think eventually later down the road, if Horror-crunk Entertainment starts doing well, I mean, I see another album later down the road. I mean, my hopes are up. I'm never going to lose hope on another Alias Grim album. I never will, but it's whenever he decides to arise. I mean,
yeah. And the video was just awesome. How did he get his mask? Like, where did that come from?
I'm still... Fuck, I told him to get a mask and he fucking showed up with this fucking $600 something mask that he had some guy just make from scratch. I guess it was just an idea he had in his head and this guy created it. And
that's awesome.
Fuck, and I'm sitting here with like a $25 fucking spirit mask that I cut up and fucking... That's probably why my obsession with all these. I'm like, fuck, dude, Cap showed me up.
That's what started the rabbit hole, the mask.
Yeah, no, his mask was phenomenal. He could take off like the bottom jaw so he could rap with it, and even the bottom jaw moved when he was rapping. So it was one of those masks where for normal people you either gotta wear it for photos and not to perform because he won't be able to hear your voice. But for him, he made a mask where you can wear it and take something off and able to perform with it, and it totally looks like a different mask on top of that. So.
And Smalls One's mask in the video was really cool too. Like I would love to see that mask come back in some way.
Oh yeah, yeah. She's gotta find that shit. Yeah, no, that.
Oh, she doesn't have it anymore.
We have it.
Oh, okay,
good.
I
don't know where it is, but it was a simple mask too. But the way that it formed on her face and everything was.
Yeah, and then the black and white photography with that mask kind of made her look like a Japanese demon or something.
Yeah, exactly. So. Cool. I mean, if we can't even find that mask, something like that would be dope for her to use as her image for sure, especially since she's working on a comeback as well. So,
oh yeah, that'd be great. I would love to have her on the show. I'd be way more than honored. Like, I'm so honored to be talking to you. Like, holy shit, man. Like, and then the fact that you're married to Smalls One, it's like how much talent is in your house.
Oh God, bro, shit. Then we have our daughter, man, and she's the future, bro. I can't say she's gonna do it. She don't even know what we do. She hears about us talking about it. She hears loud voices coming from the room when we're recording, but it's a mystery to her too. I mean, that's how conservative me and Smalls One are when it comes to like our normal personas and our recording and artist personas. It's even a mystery to our daughter.
Yeah.
Fucking go figure.
So I was kind of wondering about you guys living together, and you work on music at home together?
Yeah.
Do you do that often, or you try to stay separate with the music as to not influence each other too much ever?
It's like Tetris, man. Like you don't get a lot of time to record, and I do the landscaping in the morning, then do the night job at night. So I get like 1 day off a week. So I never used to work that much. We used to work on music a lot together, but now that we're in Arizona getting the mortgage on the house, I got to work double time. So I taught her how to record and stuff like that and do it all herself. So she's doing really good. She's probably going to be able to mix and master better than I do.
Oh, that's awesome.
But we don't really hear each other when we do our tracks that often. I mean, we'll hear once it's recorded and the other person's playing. But
do you guys ever like just for fun rap together, like freestyle together, or just bounce ideas off each other?
All the time, like in the living room and fucking around type shit, But we never really done anything where we feed off each other in the actual studio. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we do a track together, usually I'll do my parts or she'll do her parts, and then we'll just let each other listen to it and do our parts whenever. But we've never really sat down in the studio and wrote and recorded a track together from start to finish, I should say.
It makes sense. And I just had a kid 4 months ago, so I'm starting to understand where you're coming from. Like, once you have a kid and everyone's working as a couple, you don't spend as much time together because someone's got to be with the kid at all times if somebody else wants to go do something. So I'm sure she's tending to your children and probably can't wait for this interview to be over. She's gonna walk in like I need some time.
For real. But that's just how it is, man. But we're obsessed with the music shit. Like, there are times where we're not into it, but deep down we're both obsessed, man. It's like that's how we met. That's why we have that daughter out there, is if it was never for this music shit.
Where did you guys, do you remember the exact time you met? Was it at a show or something?
Yeah, it was in Denver. I can't remember what show. I can't remember if it was a Gore Fest or a random show that Scum was putting on, but yeah, I remember. I remember meeting her and Il Nickel. I remember that show very well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she was homies with Il Nickel.
Had my eye on her the whole time when Scum introduced her on stage. Yeah. Challenges, bro.
And look where you are now.
Yeah, exactly. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, we didn't hook up. I had a crush on her, of course, but we actually didn't hook up until Dallas, Texas at I believe it was a Death Fest 3 or something like that.
It's cool. Like, that's the thing about my wife Presley is she's really into horror and extreme horror, not just horror. She loves fucked up, gory ass shit. And she loves juggalo music and stuff, but she's also like a stand-up person. And it's cool to be able to meet like a female person that loves the dark shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that you can say dark stuff around and not have to worry. So yeah, I mean, congrats on having a working relationship and being able to like.
Oh, it worked out. Yeah, no. I can only tell you how many girlfriends before her pretended to like all the horror movies that I obsessively played for them and thought they were into it. I'm with you. I feel bad. I almost want to tell them I'm sorry. Like shit, because Facebook now you see everybody that used to be in your past life, and obviously horror movies had no impact on that.
Yeah,
I mean,
So. I have a feeling I'm probably muted by most people from my past life. Like they're still friends with me, but they don't want to see my shit anymore.
Yeah, they're like, oh shit, I thought he was just weird back then. He's still weird. Yeah.
Since I started this network, this extreme horror network, people are starting to see how bad it gets. But it'll be a matter of time before my work sees it and I get fired.
Yeah, exactly. That's the risk we take, man. That's the risk we take.
Yeah,
for sure.
Has your horrorcore life ever interfered with your daily life, jobs, relationships?
Nah, no? Never. Nah, because I was raised responsible. So, I mean, shit. Once I met her and the baby started coming, shit, responsibility took over. But before I met her, I mean, you could ask Con-Crete. This is all I lived for, was horrorcore. Like, I went to work so I could put that money into horrorcore. So work would have never conflicted. If it conflicted with what I was doing, I would have just quit the shit.
Yeah.
You know, and once you start having the family, that's when, but I started molding around that. So yeah, it's never conflicted one bit at all, man. Never.
That's awesome.
Same with Smalls. If she's got to go on tour, you know, the man, I hold down the fort. If I got to go on tour, she'll hold it down and shit like that.
That's great. What's up with that other rapper, Bloodshot from Seattle? You ever heard of him?
There's another Bloodshot from Seattle?
Well, I typed in Bloodshot on Spotify, and there was like a few albums that will come up in your discography that aren't yours. I don't think they're your albums. And I'm just like, And I looked it up.
I don't know. Because the same thing, I go on Spotify and I'm like, who the that's what I'm afraid of.
And
I don't want people
good.
to think that that's me, you know?
It's not good, so.
Yeah, so that's with the new label we're trying to create from scratch. It's probably going to be like Bloodshot HCE or Bloodshot, whatever that bottom line is, HCE, to differentiate the real Bloodshot from all. Because I couldn't even tell you who those people are. I mean, Bloodshot ain't the most unique name, so I don't blame them. I don't hate on them.
Yeah.
I mean,
I see what you mean. Like, I think there's also EDM thing called Bloodshot.
Yep.
Because that will be like, and then there's a rock band too. I saw like a picture of Wednesday Addams with red eyes. I was like, what's that? That doesn't look.
Yeah,
like
no, they threaten me all the time to change my name and shit like that. They're the ones that are constantly harassing me.
Yo, that actually happened to me too. Train Yard from Seattle was telling me to change that Biohazard ripoff band. They were like, change your name. Like, fuck you.
Yeah, it's because I mean they're doing big things, so I understand the frustration because I get frustrated when I go on there too. But I feel the same way that they're feeling towards me. It's like, well, then we both need to do something about our name and make something different within it. Because that shit's on there. I don't even know who put my shit on there. Like I don't know. The distro I go through must put all my shit on Spotify. I don't know, but as far as like anything coming out from here on out with Horror-crunk, I'm handling all the distro. So look, all that confusion. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I don't like. I'm considering just buying your discography on CD straight from you, so I don't have to like worry if my money streaming it is even going to you or not anymore.
Right?
So
exactly,
because I'm always like, do I go to Audio Max, Spotify? Do I go to like what Bandcamp? Like,
I don't. Fuck, it's confusing. That's why I just want to start from scratch. Whoever's making money off my shit, let them make their money off my past shit. But as far as anything coming out from here on forward, like now that I have the team, if I ain't speaking about it, I'm not seeing nothing. I mean, shit. But yeah, fuck, there's so many hands in my cookie jars from the past that I didn't even get a cookie. Shit.
So you mentioned a few upcoming projects. One of them is the new Slaughter Theory, Horror 2000 AD.
Yeah. So that one's going to be with Con-Crete. It's going to be on more. The beats sound like they're from the 2000s. I mean, we actually dug up a bunch of beats from a producer that made a bunch of beats back then in that day, and we actually listened to them now, and we're like, you know what'd be dope is to actually come back with that sound.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's
you got kind of a retro sound on that old Slaughter Theory.
Exactly, because if you have a new age producer try to make a beat from back then, it's just gonna sound it's not gonna sound the same. It's not gonna sound as, in my opinion, corny. I mean, these beats kind of, they have the generic sounds to them and shit like that we like, but that gives us more room for our lyrics on this album and to make our own track out of it. So to speak.
Is that song Fight? Is that the same beat as the Cryptic song? The Metallica beat?
I think it's a Scum song. I think it's like three other local.
I think Smalls listeners. One might be on it. No, there's like a few people I think that have used that.
That is one of the most used beats. I can't name a show that I've gone to where we haven't heard.
Koopsta used it, right? Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dude, every that's why we stopped performing it live, because every time we're gonna perform it, somebody else used the beat before us. And you know, when you go on later in the night, it's like, fuck, 3 people have already used the same fucking beat.
I'm not gonna lie, like it's not my favorite song on the album, but it's the first song I always play because it gets me kind of pumped up.
Yeah, no, it's a pump up song. It is the hype.
And then it goes into horrible hip hop right afterwards, and like that's just a fun song too.
Yeah, so fucking. I hope this next album that we make is gonna have a lot of hits on it, man.
Yeah,
Con-Crete's working his ass off, and we finally get to connect again since that album. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Who was there? Another guy on that album? It sounded like a third voice on Slaughter Theory. Like on Fight, it would have been the last verse.
Yeah, that was just a guy that we used to hang out with, and I was like, "Bro, you're gonna rap tonight." And so he wrote like 4 bars, I think it was. And then
okay.
Yeah, it was Aiton.
Okay.
He always hung around us while we were doing rap shit, and I felt like he was left out one night. So I was like, "Bro, you're always talking about your nickname and shit like that. Get on the mic." And he wasn't half bad. That was the only rap he's ever done and anything he's ever written. But you know, it was fun. It was fun, and to watch him he was always at our shows. So to be able to actually perform a song and actually have a fan from the audience or a supporter from the audience come on and actually get to do a verse really hype up our live performance for the track as well. So it was dope.
Yeah, that's a banger for sure. That whole album, I'm like, it's one of those albums that like with this show, I go through the discography of somebody, but then I get hung up on an album and I can't stop listening to it. I'm like, I gotta listen to more Bloodshot. Like I didn't give some of the early stuff enough time because I was listening to Slaughter Theory way too much.
Oh god, bro! And whenever we start working on Slaughter Theory, it brings out the best out of Con-Crete. I mean, I know he loves to work on tracks with me. So
yeah,
fuck, we're gonna be doing a lot of Slaughter Theory shit now.
Especially with the high-speed internet, man. You can just be sending that shit back and forth. You don't need to drive over that Bremerton Bridge anymore.
Yeah, no more of that shit. So,
so I was wondering, like, what is the process when you're making like a thematic album, like Bloodshot In and what was the Saw's Family? Kind of has like a narration going and like almost a story. So do you plan that ahead?
So you do the narration first.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, you find the beats. And then it kind of puts the idea into your head. You write the narration, then you write the tracks around it, which makes it more difficult, a challenge, because you gotta write the story. But
I was about to say with which one is it? Bloodshot In. It's like, damn, he had to figure out a way to write 12 songs about a hotel. You know what I mean?
Yep, exactly.
But you did.
It starts getting limited and limited and limited. It's like, just like
a song about the hall, song about the elevator.
but somehow it came together. Yeah. I didn't even think about that shit when I started. I was like, I want to write. I mean, but fuck, Stephen King did it with The Shining. So I mean, that's what my influence was going into it, was not so much like a new age type Shining, you know, but murder, never mind, every fucking Norman Bates type shit. But,
and then like Saw's Family was cool because you had Con-Crete doing the narration on that too. That was Con-Crete.
Oh, right? Yeah, that was Con-Crete. Yeah, and the little Western type voice.
So do you recognize a similarity between, you know, that newer group Axe, a la Zulu Ilu? Their narration sounds very similar to Con-Crete. It's crazy.
Is it all Western?
Yeah, like I think I don't know if it's Billy Obey or Lee Carver. One of those guys does the narration. I'm like, what? They sound just like Con-Crete.
Well, Billy has told me he grew up on, you know, my shit religiously. So if the influence slipped in somehow, I'm not saying it did, but if it did, I wouldn't be surprised. You know, it's just like that's a lot of the music I do. I don't even notice that I sound like Be Real from Cypress Hill sometimes. Some people will point it out when I do a high pitch, and I'm like, I did fucking not until I listen to it I even think about that type of shit, you know. But
that would be cool if Slaughter Theory or Bloodshot did like an Axe collab. I feel like with the whole chainsaws and masks and kind of Texas Chainsaw vibes that all you guys have. It'd be a
Oh
fun,
yeah,
fun
it'll
video.
come. I've talked to X, we'll get it. It just seems like everything got fucked. When we talked, it was right when they signed the M&E, and then seems like it just went full speed from there. I mean, I wasn't even really doing shit till just now. I mean, when Wendigo dropped, so I was inactive for a minute. I've only been active again for a year and a half, so it'll happen. I mean, once we finally meet in person is when I think it's gonna happen. Once I do a show with them, or they come do a show with me. So
I also just wanted to mention on that on the Saw's Family album, the Body Babe Monks. That's like one of my favorite songs that
yeah,
I didn't even like. It's like one of those B-sides you don't even really think about, but like I heard that I was like, it sounds like RZA, like the beat.
oh yeah,
It sounds like something
yeah,
off of Return to 36 Chambers.
yeah. No, that the producer for that album was fucking crazy, Sean Herrera. He doesn't even. It's somebody no one even would really know.
It's a lot of good beats on there, and
They're
the
so
features were good too.
industrial. Yeah, they're so the beats just sounded so industrial, gritty, grimy, like you were saying, like some shit RZA would have done when he was 14 or 15 or something. So
And Clown in the Basement, that was another highlight on that album, just because it's like, what the fuck, Clown in the Basement, and like literally
yeah,
talking about like putting dead body parts together and making a clown and putting it in the
yeah.
basement.
Fuck, dude.
I was like, that's creative.
It's because in horror, every topic's been done, so you got to take. I could have made a track about Frankenstein, but everybody's done a track about some kind of Frankenstein, so I was like, fuck it, let's reanimate a clown this time, Whoop, let's go. You got to come up with crazy ideas, man, in order to keep shit fresh and not stale and repetitive like the last guy did. So that's how that one came about.
Another one I really. Oh yeah, what? Another one I liked was Bloodshot's Missing. Was a really creative track.
Yeah, fuck, I don't even know. I think I was
just talking about getting kidnapped, and then like at the end, you're like, "Oh, I think I was just like seeing things."
Yeah,
I'm gonna go get a Big Mac.
Yeah, there we go. Random shit like that, man. Like a lot of my shit doesn't make any sense. Me and Smalls were actually just talking about that earlier today. Like my shit doesn't make any sense because I don't listen to a lot of stuff. I mean, I don't listen to a lot of other music. I don't. On my way to work, on my way back, I listen to classic rock. On my way to go doing things with the family, they're listening to pop music. So,
yeah,
I don't really have time to sit in my room anymore and bump music like I used to on my influences. So I'm kind of my own influence. I don't even know where the fucking shit comes out. I mean, these fucking topics that I talk about make no fucking sense to some people, but they make a lot of sense to me. It's hard to fucking explain.
Wendigo though, it's just like the subjects you touch on, it's just like makes sense to me. It's like this is where Bloodshot's at now. It's like you're talking about cannibalism, but you still that which one, the Red Rum was like cool because it was a Shining themed. Yeah, it's really really cool stuff.
Yeah, the Garden for Cannibals, that one was based off Motel Hell. I don't know if you've seen that one.
Yeah, we were just watching that with the heads in the garden. Oh wow,
yeah,
that puts a whole new angle on that. See, what I was thinking is I was just imagining you like you and Smalls one feeding your kid human meat.
No. Now when you hear it, now that you know, you're gonna be like, this is Motel Hell.
Yeah.
For real.
The famous chainsaw fight in that one.
Yep, exactly. I fucking love that one. Oh.
And Buried is a very good album too. That's another I don't even think I've named that one yet, but World's Misleading with Smalls One is such a beautiful track, and the production on that. I love those guitars that you're using in the newer stuff. Ambient guitar style in the background.
Yep. A lot of my I like to, not a lot of my aggressive stuff I can harmonize on, but I do like to. I mean, you'll notice throughout some of my albums, I like to harmonize and shit like that. It's not like I'm trying to sing or anything. I just like to give that kind of feel to my music type, creepy fucking type shit.
And the whistle, you even had some whistling on.
Oh,
that was Wendigo,
whistling.
right?
Oh fuck, that's Ice Cream Man. Was
Oh, Ice Cream. That song is awesome, dude.
Oh god, wait till you hear like I'm saying, like that's why I scraped everything. This new album that I work on is gonna use elements from like I mean when you think of Master P, you think of so this new whistling creepy shit that I'm doing. When you think of like the new Horror-crunk Bloodshot shit, you're gonna be hearing a lot of creepy whistling bullshit just because it adds this element that you don't hear a lot in the music. I mean,
yeah.
But if you think about it, a lot of these classic hits and oldies and even mainstream type shit, the whistle songs are really fucking catchy.
Civil War from Guns N' Roses. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Good shit. Good shit. Exactly. And also, I just got the whistle while you work vibe to it, and you're a working man, so it makes sense.
Yep, exactly. So I'm trying to. I really hope that one works out. We'll see. This next album's gonna be creepy as fuck, though.
Nice.
Well, I heard Shane's album, and he's really offensive, and I'm like, well, I gotta match it. He set the bar for me, so that's what I'm saying.
Is it more offensive than his last album?
Oh god, this guy has no filter, bro.
I know.
He don't care.
I know.
He don't care. Even when his new album cover came out with and had the boobs and shit on it, I'm like, bro, should we censor it or do you care about a band? He's like, go in it raw, bro. Just raw dog that shit. So we did, and fucking, that's what we're gonna do. We can't have filters anymore. People don't like that shit, Yeah. Like,
especially in the genre. You can tell.
Yeah,
you can tell when something's watered down.
Yeah, imagine if MC Bush Pig had a filter, bro. He wouldn't be who he is,
Yep.
So,
which you were on a label with him for a second, which is crazy.
Oh yeah, it's fucking crazy. He makes Butcher's Harm creates the craziest videos. Oh my god, man!
Some of the best beats. I love how like lo-fi their beat style is, and like I could just listen to those beats straight up, but I love the vocals too.
Yep.
And their videos, you have to go on porn sites to watch because they're so
graphic. No, for real. Yeah, no, that one Screamer Claus made, we won't even. Whoa.
Oh, I gotta send you some shit. I found some live action ones that are like pretty bad.
They're bad. Yeah.
Don't watch them with anyone around. But so yeah, we're almost done here. I just wanted to kind of now go over Slaughterfest 2. Before we close out, promote that a little bit.
Yep. Well, I haven't announced I'm waiting on the flyer, but I guess I'll announce right now. And if the flyer comes out before this thing gets posted, then you're the first one to announce it. But
cool.
It originated as me and Smalls One as the headliners. We linked up with BTV, which is huge in New Mexico. So we figured they'd be a headliner and then reached out to Chuckles to be the fourth headliner. So we had an out-of-stater headliner on top of those four. And then we added, the full Horror-crunk roster and then a bunch of other people that we're close with. I don't have a list on me or I'd start naming. There's a lot of people, but the big shebang is that Scum, Donnie Menace, and Class have all been added to Slaughterfest.
Oh shit!
So people that are talking right now, like, oh my god, I gotta go. Fuck. Yeah, they haven't even seen who's been added. So now that Scum, Class, and Donnie Menace are coming out of respect, just to support what I'm doing with Horror-crunk, which means a lot to me. For them to just come out and do the show, I mean, the level they're on right now, they're charging people Skrilla for this shit, and for them to come out and do it out of the respect, like I was saying earlier, from the seeds that I planted earlier, is just like it's a good start to Horror-crunk, man. Slaughterfest is gonna be fucking great, bro. It's gonna be fucking popping. I don't see any reason why it's not gonna be sold out. There's no reason about it.
It sounds like bring some extra money because there's gonna be a lot of merch to buy with all those.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of artists.
All those artists.
Crackle Capone also got added, and Salem Alumni. I'm not sure how to say their rap group name, but Doc Gruesom's voice, Oogie Boogie. and EJ Prophet. They're joining the show too, but yeah, there you go. There's those 3 mysterious headliners that no one knows about. But once that flyer comes out, fireworks, bro.
Man, you're still like making me consider buying a plane ticket, but
oh shit, dude, it's just it's a piece of history that's being placed with Slaughterfest.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something that you can buy later on down the road.
No, it's gonna be like people are gonna talk about it like Strictly for the Wicked or something. Like,
yeah,
it's gonna be
exactly.
People are gonna have stories and shit. Maybe somebody will make a baby that night.
Exactly, and just the limits. I mean, the fact that we're linking up with people that have put out cards that are going to help us put out a Slaughterfest series of those cards, and coming out with a magazine with people that have put out these magazines and people that have featured me in magazines want to create a Slaughterfest exclusive type magazine. It's not just going to be a show. It's going to be like, you're going to have so many collectibles coming with it, like shit. We might even get charms made. We might even get, who knows? We have 4 months to think about this shit.
Yeah, it's great, especially when you're young, coming out of a event and having like an armful of like memories. Like whether you bought it or got it for free.
Yeah,
like exactly, the barf bags in the old like grindhouse movies that they used to give people, or just like all that kind of. It's just good to have like a token of memory for it. So,
yeah. No, and this is the thing. Now that we in Smalls, we're too busy to be doing spot shows all across the United States. So, Gallup, New Mexico is going to happen, guaranteed, every year. Slaughterfest. There's going to be a Slaughterfest, maybe one in between or not, but we can't really go out and do too many shows anymore. So, might as well focus on one big bang.
I like that. Honestly, I like artists that put out albums and then do that big show. But like, I'm a busy person. I can't be going to shows all the time. So like for me, the albums are what's important. Something I can listen to while I'm at work.
Then we'll meet up at the end of the year, and what we do every year and talk about the shit.
Exactly.
So that's kind of what I'm doing with Slaughterfest. Is like if I'm going to be limited to how much I can do, I mean, I got to keep my jobs. I can't go on tour all the time, and I mean, I might. I hope.
Yeah.
But this is a guaranteed show every year. So I'm going to make it like a big shebang every fucking year. This year is going to be cool. Next year is going to be better and better and better and better. So this is that. I mean, the Slaughterfest one with Cap there and everything, that was history in the making, but you had to have been there to know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
and you could hear about
Slaughterfest. Basically, we rented out a venue for Slaughterfest. Rented out a venue, and the person that was running the venue was on a lease and got kicked out of the venue. So we basically owned the venue without any owner there for 2 days. And we're talking about an abandoned hookah lounge, bro. Like, there was hookahs, there was shit to smoke in there, there was a fucking attic, there was sound equipment, there was everything you can think of in this venue, and we had control of it for 2 days because we got a hold of the owner of the place and let her know, hey, we booked this thing, we'll pay you the money, blah blah blah. She's like, yeah, do whatever you want, I don't care about the guy's shit. The guy even showed up during Slaughterfest to ask if he could come get a hookah bong. And I'm thinking like, yeah, I'll let you in to get a hookah bong, and thinking in my head, this guy owns everything in this fucking place and I'm letting him in to grab a hookah bong. Oh man, it was a party. I would not be surprised how many people slept there overnight, even that we had no idea about, bro.
Hell yeah.
And on day 2, the cops showed up. The place smelled like weed, beer bottles everywhere inside. I mean, the cops, they had to have smelled it. They didn't even want to go inside, bro. They were just like, that's cool. Just keep doing what you're doing. The owner of the venue just wanted us to check on, the hookah bongs and stuff like that. But we're just do your thing. So we should have been kicked out at that point when the cops showed up, bro. I'm surprised at that point. But
damn. Hell yeah, dude. Well, I can't wait to see some footage from the show or any type of recording or whatever. That's going to be awesome.
I'm in the talks with somebody about having it a live event too. So we should be able to get some kind of live thing going on for it too.
Fuck yeah.
I don't want anybody to miss it. So.
Yeah. I just want to see what it looks like, man. It sounds huge.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun, man.
Cool, man. Well, that's gonna wrap it up. How can people support you or find you or?
Just find me on Facebook, Troy Brown. Look for the HCE. It's hard to find me sometimes, but you'll find me.
Mm-hmm. And you got a web store too, right?
Yeah. So bloodshot-horror-crunk.bandcamp.com and then storefrontier.com/horror-crunk. If you just Google Horror-crunk or Bloodshot Horror-crunk, usually that's what I do to even find my own shit. You'll be able to find all the breadcrumbs to me too.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and Bandcamp, you can buy all your music and stuff too. So.
Yeah. All the releases that I've released independently, on Planet Nothing on there.
Cool.
Everything else, like I said, you can find the stuff, but no.
All right.
I ain't making anything off of it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thanks so much for coming on, man. And I would love to have you again once you release that next thing, or if you ever want to talk about Slaughterfest, we'll do it.
Definitely. And once these horror-crunk artists that I'm developing and getting out, man, once they start making a buzz, we'll throw a couple of them on the show as well, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I said, you got Marshland coming up, so
yep, that's
dope too. So
yeah.
All right, man.
Thanks a lot. Have a good one.
You
Peace.
too, bro.
Saws up.
Put the nails in my coffin, bury my soul till my flesh becomes rotten in 100 years. Recite the words in my book, summon my presence. If the words are understood, if it doesn't work, then light the candles. The hidden